Hello everyone, this is Alphalat Forex. This platform is dedicated to dishing out Forex content, profitable and valuable Forex content that will help you grow in your Forex journey. Are you a pro? Are you a beginner? This page is for you, and I implore you to subscribe and click the notification button as we will continually bring out profitable content to make you a better trader. Meanwhile, for today, we're going to be starting with the very basics of the Forex market, starting from the history of Forex, starting from the very history of exchange. Okay, so meanwhile, what is Forex? Let me write it. What is Forex? What is Forex? Actually, Forex is a conjoined word meaning foreign exchange. It was conjoined Forex. So this is foreign exchange. Now, what is foreign exchange in the literal meaning? This is just exchange of one currency of another nation to the exchange of between two nations. It's simply this exchange of currency between two nations. So also it can also be the trading of currencies virtually on platforms like the MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5. Okay. So on this note, we're going to proceed to the history of money. Actually, it should be history of money. Okay. So from the very beginning, the means of exchange used to be like the barter system. Barter system has to do with you bringing something I don't have to take something I have as a means of exchange. By doing this, we meet our needs. Okay. So, but around 200, 2600 BC, gold was discovered by the Egyptians. Okay. They discovered it. They found it one, it was scarce. They found that it was shiny. They found out that it was soft and could be molded into different shapes. So it became a valuable product. So gold was being used as a means of exchange. Now, in 700 BC, the first gold coin was printed or was molded rather. Okay, and this gold coin was being used as a means of exchange. In the 18th century, the paper money came into play. Okay, so during this period, some countries had the paper money, while some other countries were still using the gold. So this was creating some discrepancies and an imbalance in terms of exchange. Okay, and this led to the birth of the gold standard in 1875. Okay, in this 1875, the gold standard was created, and what this simply means is that most country currencies were backed by gold. This is to say that every country, depending on their economic value, had the value of gold their country represented. I don't know if you get me. For instance, you can say you have this your currency equals to 5 ounces of gold, and that country can say my own currency equals to 2 ounces of gold. So with this, it can be used as a threshold, it's a threshold to measure the means of exchange. Okay. Now, after World War One, the gold standard lost its value. Okay, there was discrepancies in exchange. So due to those discrepancies, the Brentwood Agreement came into play. Okay, as a way to fix the shortcomings of the depleted gold standard. Okay, so the aim of this Brentwood Agreement was to fix the fact that the gold standard was no longer in play, and this agreement led to formation of this fixed exchange rate, primary reserve currency, creation of IMF and the World Bank in 1944. The fixed exchange rate means that the dollar was the only currency that was backed by gold in the world. At around 35 ounces of gold equals to $1. Okay. Also, all other countries' currency were backed by the US dollar. So basically, the US dollar became the primary reserve currency in other nations. Okay. Also, this led to the creation of IMF, International Monetary Fund. This is the IMF is the United Nations financial institution. This financial institution was created as a backup to participant nations, such that if any of these nations are having kind of financial crisis, they can always go to the IMF, get some fund, fix the financial crisis, and pay back with interest. Okay. This also led to the creation of the World Bank. The World Bank was created as a way to support developing nations. Okay, and in 1971, Richard Nixon, who was the U.S. president as at that time, dissolved the relevance of the Brentwood Agreement. This was not deliberate. This was because after the World War II, the reserve, gold reserve of the US was drastically depleted. So the president reached out to other nations, telling them they can no longer exchange their country's US dollar for gold. Okay, and this now led to the death of the forex market till date. It led to the death of the forex market till date. Okay, so I hope you found this very educative and interesting. It's not just the tip of the iceberg yet. I implore you to click the subscribe button and turn on the notification button as well, as more educative, insightful contents will be coming up before we dive into the technical analysis of the forex market. Okay, so on our next video, we'll be looking at the terms used in the forex market, the terms, the jargons used in the forex market. So please subscribe. Stay blessed, everybody.